All right, who wants more profit in their business? Profit is why you got into this game in the first place, right? To fund your dreams, your vision, your impact, to provide new experiences for your family. So why do you feel like you're working harder than you've ever worked, but you're not pulling out any of the benefits? And this episode, I'm going to show you exactly why. So let's dive in. Welcome to Success Sundays with Harrison. I'm your host, Harrison Wilder. I'm a corporate strategist and entrepreneur with an executive MBA from the George Washington University. I've managed two multi-million-dollar companies, and I advise top-level executives from a variety of industries. In this show, you'll find practical insights that will help you succeed as a leader in today's business environment. If you're serious about developing your skills as an executive, this is the place for you. Enjoy today's episode. Hi, I'm Harrison Wilder, and welcome to Success Sundays. In this episode, we're talking about profit, right? Now, profit is important whether you're the owner of your company or an employee in your company. When the owner is profiting, when the company is profiting, then everybody has a chance to win. Right. So look, if you're the owner of the company, you know that like profit is so critical. Like the amount of money that you're able to bring home out of the business is like it's an indicator of the health of your company. But even if you're an employee in your company, or maybe you're just an executive leader somewhere inside of the company, your life gets better when the owner is profiting as well. Profitable companies are able to, compensate their employees well. They're going to be in business for a long time. They are, more likely to share those profits with people who work in the company, and the whole company gets better as it's profitable. So if you're looking at even job security, things like that, the things that you can do to contribute to profit are going to be rewarded, right? Because if you're a department head and all your department does is spend money, but it's not connected to profit, and you don't understand how it's generating profit for the company, well, eventually that department's not going to be there anymore, right? Or that department's going to get downsized, things are going to get cut. But if you can figure out how to contribute to your company becoming profitable, and your department is helping to generate mass profits, and you understand where you fit in the scheme of a profitable company, well, then you're going to be around for a long time, right? Your job's going to be real secure, and you're going to be adding massive value to your company. So here are some things to consider when you want your company to become more profitable. And the first one is this. It's going to sound crazy, but decide to make more profit, right? This could seem like really obvious, but look, I'm telling you, there are a lot of companies out there and a lot of business owners out there and department heads out there who are not really thinking about profit. And I think sometimes it's like they're thinking about all the other things that make a business feel like a business. And when I was little, I used to enjoy playing church. So I went to the Episcopal church with my parents, and then my parents, I can't believe they sat through this, but we would come home afterwards, and me and my siblings would put on a second church service, right? And so we had this big stairway in our house, and so we'd make an altar at the top of the stairs, and our parents would sit down beneath, and so we do the whole service all over again, for our parents. So we were playing church, right? And sometimes as kids, it's fun to play different games. You play house, but well, in my house we played church, and then but the only problem is like nobody's lives were being changed, right? So we were just playing church, and what church is supposed to do is like to impact lives, right? And there were no lives being impacted. Well, sometimes, we can get into this game of just playing business, right? But are we generating a profit, right? Because a business is built to generate a profit. And so playing business can look a little bit like this. Like, you've got fancy business cards, right? You've got a nice office that you're renting, where you can bring people in and show off your nice office space. And maybe you've got a really professional website. Your website looks amazing. Like people go there and like, wow, this is a real business, right? And maybe you've got all kinds of things going on in your company, your social media is on point. Like everybody can look and see that you're a real company. The only thing that's missing is like sales, right? Sales coming into your company, money coming into your company, profit being generated inside of your company. And so, look, you got to make a decision to stop playing business and start playing for profits, right? To have a real business that is generating profits. And that's the first step, is like decide to do it. Just decide, you know what? Profit is going to be important to this business. I've been working with a company recently, and they're looking to buy up other companies. And it's in the tech industry, and one of the qualifications of the companies that we're going to be looking to buy are companies that have a pathway to profit, right? Who actually have a pathway to make a profit, because that's gotten lost in today. And a lot of these technology companies, they're interested in data, they're interested in things, but they can't figure out even on paper how to generate a profit. Well, not the companies that I'm going to be investing in. You're going to have a pathway to profit. We're not just playing business here. We're in it for the profit. So that's the first thing, is decide. Here's another thing about profits. If you want to have more profit in your business, how about test your business model on paper, right? Before you even make your next sale, before you even spend your first dollar on your business, how about test out your business model on paper? Now, this could take just 15 minutes, but it's surprising to me how many companies fail to do this. How many people, entrepreneurs, they fail to even take this small little step. You could do this. You could take yourself out to a restaurant today, pull out a napkin, start writing on the paper, and you could just do estimates, right? It doesn't even have to be real numbers, but here's some questions you want to ask yourself to see if your business works on paper. First one, you'd write maybe at the top of the thing, what are you selling and how much are you selling it for, right? How much are you selling your product for? Keep it real simple. What's your major product that you sell, your major service that you provide, and how much are you charging for it? That's the first thing. Here's the next thing. How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? Right, so write that number down. Be okay, well, and again, we're just estimating here, but we're okay, maybe it costs me $100 to get a customer. Maybe it costs me $300 to get a customer. Think about the ways that you acquire leads and convert them into becoming buyers, and ask yourself, how much does that process cost? Write that number down, okay? And then write down this number. How much does it cost to deliver your product or your service to people, right? Do you need to host an event? Do you need to build a widget? What is it that you're delivering, and how much is that going to cost you? And then finally, write down this number. What are the other overhead expenses that you have? Do you have payroll expenses? Do you have office expenses? What are those things, right? And just assume that those numbers are consistent for a month, right? After you total all that up and look at that for a month, you'll be okay, I'm going to make this many sales. This is how much I'm selling it for. This is how much it or how much it cost me to acquire those customers. This is how much it's going to cost me to deliver that product. This is my overhead for that month. Assume they're consistent for a month, and is there any money left over? If not, you need to change your business model before you even start, right? Yes. Because you're in it for the profit, right? If it doesn't make sense on paper, then why even go out and start it in the first place, right? And so if maybe you're already in business, maybe you're already managing a department, and when you write out these numbers, you're holy cow, there's no profit left over at the end of the day. Well, that's okay. It's time to make some adjustments, right? Change things around, think about how you could do things differently, and come up with something that works on paper to be profitable first. That's the first step. And many people don't do this, and they're scratching their head, wondering why they don't have any profit. Well, you could have known it from the beginning if you just written a 15-minute exercise down on paper and made sure that it worked on paper. Look, some of these things change. Over time, you're going to get more data, right? You're going to learn more information about the real cost to acquire customers, right? You might find that, wow, it actually cost me 3 times more to get a customer than I thought it was going to, or wow, actually I can deliver this for a lot less than I thought I could if I package it up this way and do it this way, and we do some group coaching and things like that. I can actually deliver this for a lot less. Well, when there are major changes to these numbers, then repeat the exercise, right? Go through it again, take that 15 minutes, write it all out, and make sure that it works on paper. If there's any big adjustments, make those adjustments on paper, and make sure that everything's working on paper before you charge forward, okay? Here's the next thing. If you want to experience more profit in your business, spend money on sales generating activities first. If you're making less than $1 million in your company right now, there's really nothing like $1 million revenue. then there's really nothing that you should be spending money on, major expenses, other than sales generating activities, right? Now, this is a big trap, and I'm telling you, this is causing delay in the growth of your company right now, is you're spending money in all sorts of areas that are not generating more sales. And if you're making less than $1 million, you don't want to be focused in those areas. You want to keep your delivery streamlined, right? You want to keep your overhead expenses down, and you want to focus on sales, 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 because the more money that you can bring into your company, then you'll have money that you can invest in other areas. But if the money dries up, then all this money you spend in other areas is going to be for nothing, and you're not going to be able to continue doing that. It's not going to be sustainable. So make sure that you're spending money first in sales generating activities, right? Acquiring new leads, converting those leads into customers. How are we doing that, right? What are we investing in, and that's going to make that happen? So do you need to bring on sales teams? Do you need to invest in understanding and marketing strategy? Do you need to attach a whole sales system to your business? These are the places where you want to invest first, right? And not in all these other areas that are causing delay for you and scaling and growing your company. All right. So spend money on sales generating something. Stop spending money on so many other things that are not helping you generate sales at this stage of your business. All right. Here's the next thing. And this one's crazy. I learned this from a book called Profit First by Michael Lowitz. Michael Lowitz. Yes, that's his name. And he says, pay yourself first. All right. Now, look, when we talked about that financial exercise, I kind of broke it down in the way that most of you understand financial statements to be laid out, right? You've got your revenue, your top line revenue, and then you've got the cost to acquire customers in there, and then there's kind of the margin that's left over from that, and then you've got your overhead expenses below that. And what's way down at the very bottom of a typical income statement is the profit, right? The net profit, the profit that's left over after you take out all of your expenses. And that's great for a financial statement, but it's not the best way to run your business, to operate your business and to think about your business financially if you want to focus on profits. If you want to focus on profits for your business, then the first thing you might want to do is actually pay yourself first, to take out your profits off the top. So as soon as revenue comes in, set aside the amount that you're going to pay yourself. And that's what the book Profit First recommends that you do, is that as revenue comes in, you'd actually divide it out, take it out of you bring all of your revenue into an income account, one income account where all the revenue comes in, and then you take that percentage of profit after you've worked it out on paper, you've decided how much profit you're going to have, take that out off the top and set it aside into some other account where you can't touch it, right? So it's going to be profit. Pay yourself first, because and the theory here is that a lot of people, even in business, they make decisions based off how much money that they have inside of their bank account, right? So all the complicated financial statements, all the income statements and balance statements and things like that we all look at, for most business owners, they just look at their bank account, even though they have access to these statements. They're like, okay, I got $30,000 in my bank account. Great, I can invest in this, or I can hire this person, or I can do that, right? So since that's the way most of us work, Mike and Profit First suggests that we actually kind of work with that instead of working against it. So let's take the money that we want to pay ourselves out off the top, and then leave inside of our operating account the amount of money that we actually have to spend on our business. By the way, he also recommends that you set aside money for taxes and for payroll as well, right? So that you're only left in your operating account, the account that you look at when you're making financial decisions, only leaving that account, the actual operating budget. Profit's already been set aside. Pay yourself first. I think that's so cool. I think it's amazing. You take it right off the top, and you're all set with your profit. All right, here's the last thing. And this is more of a mindset thing, and it's to really protect your profit. Could you envision you in your own mindset being you know what? Profit is important. I mean, seriously, every dollar that you spend in your business, right? After you bring it in as revenue, every dollar that you spend on any activity inside of your business is like that could have been profit, right? It could have been money that was funding your dreams. It could have been money that you're setting aside for your family. It could have been money that you're putting into retirement accounts, into passive investments. You don't know how long you're going to be in business. Like businesses don't last forever. Business models don't last forever. That's something that we can understand. I mean, even was it Elon Musk who said that I predict one day? No, it wasn't. It was. I think it was Jeff Bezos actually. So I predict one day, this business is going to fail. Right? And so if his business is going to fail, if these billionaires who are out there, if these smartest guys in the world are predicting that their businesses are one day going to fail, then we need to understand that as well. Right? And it's true. Like, I mean, in the history of the world, businesses eventually fail. And so that means we got to stay profit focused. We need to be pulling out the profit that we need to support our dreams and our family, put them into passive investments and things like that. But keep this perspective in mind. Every dollar I spend, right? If I bring on an unnecessary hire in my business, if I purchase something that we don't need inside of our office, that all is money that could have been set aside for profit to fund the dreams. Look, every dollar that you spend on generating revenue, awesome, right? Every dollar that you spend that prevents refunds, awesome, right? But beyond that, every dollar you're spending is actually just taking away from your own dreams and your family. So let's be profit-centered, protect that profit, and if you keep that perspective, you're going to prevent yourself from having these unnecessary expenses. So, hey, we don't like to end any episode without giving you a very clear, practical success challenge of the week. So today's success challenge is to make your business work on paper. All right? Take 15 minutes, take yourself out to breakfast, take yourself out to dinner, get a napkin out if you don't have any paper, and then just take 15 minutes to jot down the numbers, right? All the numbers we talked about today, and don't leave the exercise until there is profit left over. Make the adjustments, change things around, do what you need to do, but don't leave that table until you have a profitable business, and then start setting aside that profit today. Right? As revenue comes in, take your profit off the top, and you could become a profitable business by tomorrow. Hey, if you have any questions, anything that I might be able to help you with, just drop down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Any questions, any thoughts you have. The team will go through the comments and they'll put together, tee up ideas for future episodes, that might be helpful to you. That's our goal, is really to create helpful content that's super relevant for you and helpful for you. So put those down in the comments. And until then, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you in the next episode. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Great businesses and great leaders are built using effective communication. For more, go to speakingschool.com, grab my Elite Business Success Toolkit for free just for trying out our Speaking School membership. That's speakingschool.com. See you next time.